Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for August and September 2021. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, because it means it's noon, yeah. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions. Since 1998, the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, now on Kindle. Link in the description box if you want to go check it out. Venus in Libra, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, my Libras, happy to be doing the read for you today. I actually have a in-house client coming today, someone, a client and a friend of mine that I've read for decades, so we're all good, if you know what I mean, and just got to get the house ready. So getting some readings done beforehand. If you are new to the channel, a work, career, vocation read is what's called a 3-level of power reading. It's a 12-card spread, but I learned the idea of the 3 levels of power, the truth of the 3 levels of power, from Myss, MYSS, PhD. This is her deck, her archetype deck that we're going to be using to get you the archetypal dynamics, the internal dynamics, the external dynamics, and a healing mantra for your work, career, vocation. There is a link in the description box from Myss, a lecture, YouTube video, explaining what those 3 levels of power are. And if you want to check it out, there it is. Just I can't go into it all the time, but what comes out of my mouth is, as we do the spread, usually does explain what needs to be explained. And this is your life purpose through the lenses of work, career, vocation. And certainly if you would like to go deeper, I probably am going to be doing a work, career, vocation read today for my client and friend. So I've been doing them for decades, been doing them for myself. They're really, really helpful about bringing together these 3 levels of power into one alignment of energy. And it's a good thing. I have it most days, you know, it is what it is. And that's why a 2-month read. All right, and if you want to book me, there's a video I did, booking a reading with Mal. I really enjoyed that video, and I hope you will too, and certainly you'll know if you ever want to get a reading from me if you want it. That's about it. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box, of course. This is a general read. You want to check your other signs because your sun sign might have more the leverage in the work level of power, right? Your moon sign, more your career, right? It's just how it goes. And there's usually leverage here in one of the 3 levels that helps bring the other 2 into alignment. You got it? I guess that's about it. Both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can for some clarity on your work, career, vocation. Breathe. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. Links to VIMEO on demand and all that too. It's just part of doing business. Here we go. I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, please. 3 cards in clarity. The 8th chakra dynamic, the star center, the soul center, the upper room. What is the dominant archetype in play for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading? Let's start with their work, their survival intuition. Lower 3 chakra dominated, but what's the crown chakra going on in their work, how they survive? How about their career? What's the 8th chakra dynamic going on up there? It's heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic, the interior world, but their career, their passion, their hunger, their thirst, what they yearn for, what they burn for, what sets them on fire and lights up their mind. In their career, their creative intuition, and what's going on in the 8th chakra for the Libras in their vocation, true 8th chakra dynamic here, their calling, their mystical power, their visionary intuition, all of this for August, September 2021. Let's look. I mean, I guess these could be timeless. I just don't think of them as timeless readings because when you're dealing with people who are dealing with money, and money issues are part of this too, and all it is, you know, all of that, how to heal all of that bit by bit. yeah, it can get a little intense. All right, so you already know what these archetypes are: the Fool, the Thief, and the Athlete. So the Fool is the masculine family of archetype, but it's not the idiot. If you think of the court, not the court system like the legal system, but the royal court system. Right, the Fool is the one that could speak truth to power without getting his head lopped off. Their head lopped off. Let's not gender the Fool. Though it is a masculine family archetype, 9 different families, that's one of them. The Thief. Now this is tricky. Obviously, no one wants to look at that, but that's we'll certainly address in the shadow there. But this is the action family archetype. And the Thief can really reveal some amazing truth, particularly about what's going on inside of you. We'll get there. And the Athlete creative family archetype. I have the Athlete archetype. I am a dancer. I dance pretty much every day. It's not dance, it's yoga. It's something else. Do you think I keep looking like this at age? I'm almost 53. September 6th. Yikes. Yay. I know I don't look at thanks. But I have this in terms of being an artist. You could have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. This could be you, your archetype, someone else you're dealing with. But even if it is someone else you're dealing with, there's a lesson here for you to alchemize from shadow to light. So let's get up and at the Fool, and this is your physical level of power, really dominated by the lower 3 chakras, how you navigate your way through the world and your survival intuition. The shadow attribute, using humor to wound rather than liberate. Well, I mean, I am from New York. And I have Venus in Libra. Denial of your emotional truth. That does not happen around here. I'm a Pisces moon. I can't get away with it. And an empath on top of it. Great fun. The light attribute. You see what I'm doing? This is the Fool archetype, right? Fearlessly revealing emotions, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Hi, welcome to my channel. All right, so I can relate to that, and that is what I'm doing in the physical world right now. Sometimes the archetypes are just like, oh, pop in the lens, and you see it in your career. Heart, third eye, crown dynamic, the interior world. But the 8th chakra of the Thief, the shadow here, stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Now again, this might not be it. This could be something that you're dealing with in your career. I mean, how much career theft goes on, right? Intellectual property and copyright, you know, just it depends on what that is for you in terms of your creativity inside of yourself. And by the way, most people work jobs to pay the bills, right? They do the work so that they can pursue their career, and it doesn't have to necessarily create a product, right? My mom is a true artist, but it's in her home. She's a Cancerian. That's her gardens. If you've been watching the channel, when I go visit them up in Saratoga, I'm always like streaming from the phone because it's just so freaking gorgeous up there. So the light attribute, this is particularly heart, third eye, crown, because if you look at the Thief there, he's like going, hey, you want to pay much? But it's a heart, all right? Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. That's huge. That's huge. To know that your own creativity, your own genius, your own skill, everybody's got gifts. But the idea about gifts is you're supposed to give them away. The more you give them away, the more of them you have. I mean, it's a little cliche. Stitch it on a pillow, throw it on the couch, Grandma. But you know what I'm saying, right? Particularly your creative gifts. But, you know, also might say, if you feel like something's going on here, right, in your career. But this could very well be your leverage here, my Libras. The Athlete archetype in its shadow is just as toxic as anything else. Misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends. False sense of invulnerability and entitlement. And entitlement is one of the 7 deadly sins, rephrased as shadow powers by Carolyn Myss in her book, Defy Gravity. It's the deadly sin of the solar plexus. And I was so inspired by her work. My book, Words of Grace, has a lot of that stuff in it. It's actually broken down by chakra chapter. And the grace of understanding, which is not understanding here, it's understanding here. And the grace of discernment really can, but how many athletes, when they're drunk on power, are discerning? I mean, all of us. And remember, you can be an athlete artist, you can be an athlete mother, you can be an athlete father, you can be an athlete anything. Catch this, creative family archetype. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. Think about that, right? Like, I'm older, right? It's like I got lower back stuff. That's why the yoga and the dance and the flexibility and, you know, all that jazz. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Rock on. Rock on. In your vocation, that's huge. That's like a dedication. So think like training for the spiritual Olympics, but every day. But don't let the spiritual ego run away with that to the point where you're scrubbing yourself. Oh, here comes the garbage. Speaking of scrubbing yourself, I'll pick up on that in a minute. Be right back. Thank you. Yeah, it was a split second for you. It was a good 2-minute process. I grabbed my coffee. So scrubbing yourself. Oh, are they coming back for more? Are they coming back for more? Oh no, they're just fixing their mind. It's right outside my window. The garbage, shake the thing over their head, whatever. So this athlete archetype. The spiritual ego can get a hold of that and wreak havoc. And the spiritual ego is the part of the ego that does not really want to grow, heal, learn in a way it can't. It has to be unraveled and integrated into the soul. But it can take our spiritual practices and beat us with them, right? So just be aware of that athletes need rest. Athletes need to set healthy boundaries, and that deadly sin of entitlement, once really in process of healing with the grace of understanding and the grace of discernment, you learn on a gut level, and this is certainly going to look at what's going on in your work. Good. We've got the 8th chakra dynamics on the table. Let's get the next 4, right? Crown, third eye, throat, heart. So spiritual power, mental power, willpower, choices, decisions, element of fire essentially, and emotional power, right? As I touch my throat chakra, yeah, I have a feeling this thief, your center lane is going to be interesting here. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah. Here we go. As I call upon my goddesses of air and the sign of Libra, please 3 cards in clarity. The heart, throat, third eye, crown, chakra dynamic, work, career, vocation for this Libra collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus. I'm watching this video, receiving this reading. I'm already resonating with that one, and that one I'm not so thrilled about the thief in the middle, but, you know, we're going to do what we're going to do. Please, what's going on here for the Libra collective inside themselves, their interior experience, maybe what they need to be aware of here. They've got the Fool in the 8th chakra of their work. There's that. They've got the Thief in the 8th chakra of their career. Nope. One more riffle shuffle. Riffle shuffle. And what's going on, heart, third eye, crown in the career. And in their vocation, the athlete, which feels vibrationally like that's the leverage. It usually is, right? Go up into that 8th chakra, your mystical power. What's going on, heart, third eye, crown in their vocation? Okie dokie. These you don't know. They're not in the title. Wah, 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 wah. All right. These are pretty good. Now, you do have 2 court cards, so before we go into that, you have one in your work and one in your vocation. These usually are not people because it's your own heart, third eye, crown. The next 3 cards down will look at the outside. This is the internal dynamics, so we're gonna kind of tap into the energies of them, and we're really talking about the house dynamics of the sign itself. So I love this. The Fool, you have the Leo card, Chantico, the Mother of Flames, which would be the Queen of Wands in traditional tarot. This is creativity. This is you mold, you grain the grain. You grind the grain. That's hard to say. You grind the grain, right? And the water, the ingredients, you make the loaf, you put it in the fire, in the oven, fixed fire, Leo, and you let it bake. So there's something baking inside of you, very throat chakra, right? Like I said, willpower, what you yearn for, like what you want to say, what you want to do, the decisions you want to make. But with this Fool thing, you really have the opportunity to express yourself here by speaking truth, by being honest, but there's always a risk. You know, it's not much of a hero's journey without a risk. The thief archetype that you have here, believe it or not, you got a really good card. You have got the Six of Pentacles here. Now we know Six of Pentacles, you know, that equal give and take that we see in relationship readings all the time. But inside yourself, there is a certain balance and stability going on inside of you that can even really, really speak of your own, not just internal balance, that's always fluctuates in this world, but something of success under handicap. The word here is success. And success under handicap, this is a Paralympics. I believe that's the new term for it. So, well, new to me, sorry, you know, keeping up. But, you know, everyone who's in the race wins. Everyone who's in the race wins, right? So there's some kind of breakthrough inside of you here. And why wouldn't that reveal the potential wealth within you that cannot be stolen? And I would really focus on that. You know, that's the thing. I have a lot of books I want to write, and other people could maybe write some of them, but they certainly can't write my autobiography, right? No one else can do these readings as me and go through the practice that I go through, and that is true for you. Focus on that, particularly if you're going to be kind of expressing yourself creatively in your work. That would make sense, but I think you're going to love, I really think, this is where you have your leverage. You got the athlete in the 8th chakra in your vocation. You got Sagittarius, Cerridwen, or Cerridwen. I've heard it said so many different ways. A Celtic goddess of transformation, the Sagittarius card, the crone of flames here. So this would be the Knight of Wands, 9th house, Knight of Wands, 9th house dynamic, Sagittarius, expansion, Jupiter energy, mutable fire. Flaming arrow, flaming arrow, flaming arrow. Did I just LARP? Oh my god, except I would do it with the ring, but not this ring. We got the fire rings back there. Mandarin. Let our powers combine. You better like if you get that reference. Heart. This is a passion. This is power. This is your spirituality. Even Carolyn May says the dominant thing in 9th house dynamic is spirituality. A spiritual athlete is what I feel like I'm talking to here, and welcome to the club if we haven't met before, because that's me. But, you know, obviously the concern here is with that thief archetype, but remember, all archetypes are neutral. As beautiful as they sound, as toxic as they are, that's how it is, it's a spectrum, and as horrible as they sound, as magnificent as they are, again, a spectrum. What's going on the outside? Oh, I'm in. I guess I'm in this read, folks. Believe me, I do not plan it that way. But what if every reader is reading themselves because they're all one? Great. Yeah, they won't cancel me for that, but people won't like it either. And I don't know that that's true. It probably is. Breathe. Right, an 8th dimensional perspective of divination and YouTube readings. I call upon my gods of air and the sign of Libra. Please, my beloveds. 3 cards in clarity for the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Their work, career, vocation here. What's going on in the lower 3 chakras? Either or, them from the outside looking in at themselves, or them from the inside looking out. Some aspect of the physical world here, but definitely 3rd chakra, lower 3 chakras dynamics, you know. The root chakra stuff, the security, the foundation of it, the 2nd chakra, which is money, and just all of that. Solar plexus already indicated here with that entitlement in the shadow in the athlete. So August, September 2021, they've got the Fool in their work with the Leo card, Chantico, Mother of Flames. They've got the Thief in their career, the 6 of Pentacles, success, and it was not easy, but there, and it feels visceral. That's the word I was looking for. A visceral success, balance, moving forward, and it was not easy to get there. Maybe you have been stolen from. I mean, it's a little on the nose for my readings, but I'm sure, you know, general read, you take what resonates, well, what resonates. But my gods of air, and the sign of Libra, the athlete, the spiritual athlete, right, in their vocation, with Kerwiniwen, right? The Knight of Wands, that mutable fire, that transformation, that spirituality, 9th house dynamic. Oh, how we do go on. Okay. 2 major arcana cards and a minor arcana. Wait till you see what it is. This is your leverage. This is your leverage. But I am going to say, in your work, you got the Fool in the inner. Creativity, come on. 5th house dynamic, creativity, good fortune, pleasure. It's Leo. It's lovely. Inside yourself in particular, with the Wheel of Fortune, man. The fates have woven this in. This is part of your destiny. It is time. It is time. Now, if you can... Well, everybody plays the Fool sometimes. There's no exception to the rule. I'll have that stuck in my head all day, and I'm okay with it. Fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at the absurdity and hypocrisy. Oh, come on. Better to make them laugh than make them cry. Although, my guide said to me when I was a teenager, like, if you have the choice between laughter or tears, laugh, because there will be times when you can't do nothing but cry. And prophecy, but for all of us. In your career, I think you're going to find this interesting. All right? The Thief with success on the inner. However that plays out in you, but you've got Temperance here. Temperance is a process of alchemy, and it takes time, it takes heat, and it takes pressure. Whatever went on here with this thief, with this thief archetype happened for you, not to you. To put you in a place of alchemy. I know what that feels like in a career. Oh, do I know how that feels like in my career? That's why I wrote the book Words of Grace. Those prayers in that book saved my life. I'm still here. I am still here. And now 3-4 years later, look at me. Right, Libra? So, Temperance, take your time. Be patient, be loving. Do the healing work that is yours to do. Because as you heal, everyone heals. If everybody, if even just a percentage, a bigger, larger percentage of the population understood how powerful we actually are through unity consciousness, every time we heal, every time we transform, everybody heals. How much power do you have to really change what's going on in the world at large right now? Weed your garden holographically. It weeds everybody else's. And by the way, that's metaphor. Well, weed your garden if you have to weed your garden, because it's garden and that's our job. That's our creativity, the gardener creative family archetype. This is the one that made me go, the athlete. You're not ready for this. The Sagittarius, inner, mutable fire, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups. Someone's coming in, or someone is in. There is a spiritual attraction going on in you, and one that is really sparking your creativity. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know I don't say this every time the 2 of Cups turns up. I feel a second chakra. You know, when somebody comes at you and they flirt with you and it goes, that's simple survival, intuition, lower 3 chakra, second chakra dynamic. But when it's somebody's like, do it with me, you know, Hugh Jackman. Fool archetype, white courtesy telephone. Okay. All right. So, you know, the vibe on this is what the vibe on this is. Of course, it's... but this could be a very, very strong mystical attraction to somebody. Don't try and figure it out, third eye. But it's something with this athlete archetype about really it's creative family archetype, because look at the muscles that are created symbolically, literally, all of that, some of that. But personal willpower, strength of spirit with this passion. This could obviously be somebody that you're in the initial stages, and just on a career level, it can be, you know, totally work-oriented in the sense of somebody that, oh, a soul contract. Hi, we're here to do this together. But even that, the second chakra will go, or go, I should have worked for Jim Henson. I should have. I missed my calling. No, that means there's a quantum variant of mine that's a puppeteer, which has got to be way weirder than me. No shade. No shade. Just an opinion, and probably a false one. All right. I would have loved. I know people who worked for him back in the 80s. Okay. Here we go. The Metcon healing mantra deck. We're going to get 3 of them to give you some healing mantras to work with. You are an air sign, cardinal air, creative air. So play with these. Take both the titles of them, just write them down, right? Put them on Post-its, right? One on each, and then write the mantra on another one and play around with them. You get paragraphs of power, and really for a 2-month period, it can set you up. You might want to check last month into this one too with that thief archetype, because I can't remember what goes what in every reading, where went where. Breathe. Last 3 cards down. My Ascended Masters of Life, Purpose through Work, Career, and Vocation. Please, what are the perfect healing mantras for the Libra Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs? I've had 2 of Cups in their Vocation just staring at me. What do you got for them in their work for August, September 2021? Fool in the 8th, Leo in the inner, Wheel of Fortune on the outer. It's a very powerful alignment for some amazing masculine dynamic energy, creativity being expressed. Don't look at them, right? Almost read it. In their career, the thief in their 8th chakra, which we admit is problematic. Depending on who's getting this reading. 6 of Pentacles, there is an interior breakthrough, something stronger, something balanced here, but with that process of temperance, also a card of balance, of alchemy, of patience, of healing, of taking the time to do the inner work, which is an angel card. It's Iris, the goddess of the rainbow, right? Alignment. And I believe that is from the outside looking in at them. And with that athlete, get me the mantra. It's just the energy on this 3rd one is so, I wouldn't say intense, but vibrant. What's their mantra for their career, please? And in their vocation, the athlete. Sagittarius on the inner, 2 of Cups on the outer. Just says a lot. What's going on there? What's the perfect healing mantras for the Libra in their vocation? August, September 2021. Oh, encountering conflict, integrating the ego. I totally said before what's written on that card in a different way. And discovering happiness. Oh my God, so you're encountering conflict, but you're integrating the ego and discovering happiness. See what I mean? Here we go. You got the Fool in your work. Leo on the inner, Wheel of Fortune on the outer. Encountering conflict. I don't choose sides. I take a stand. Now, in this world, people will demand that you take sides. I would go with this. I would go with this. Fearlessly reveal your emotion, but do it with a sense of humor, right? To laugh at the hypocrisy of it. Now, the other thing that this means is that if somebody is really coming at you, and I don't mean necessarily in an attack way, but I mean like in a difference of opinion, and they just want to be heard. You can pretend to agree with them if you want and not, but that's what it means to take a stand. It's like, no, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to listen to you and give you the love of being heard, right? And not think about what to say to them. Or if they ask you a question, you can just say, I'm just here to hear you. I just want to hear you. Go ahead, right? Because then it no longer becomes personal. It's a healing act. This is huge, and chances are the humor will come to you in the moment that makes them crack a smile. It just comes. Well, you think humor is not divinely, even the grace of humor, that's in another book I want to write, because the grace of humor saved my shit so many times, particularly in work. Oh, honey, I've got Mercury conjunct Venus, 3rd house in Libra. I can talk myself into or out of anything. In the career, this thief archetype in the 8th, 6 of Pentacles on the inner, Temperance on the outer. Remember what I said? Well, something along the lines of, everything is for you, not against you. This isn't happening. This did not happen to you. It happened for you. To really get you into this place of temperance, of alchemy, of healing, of balance that can be seen from the outside looking in. Everything is for me, not against me. Now, that's an interior thing, right? That's something you do inside yourself. I don't know that that's what you want to be expressing here with the encountering conflict. I think here you're really supposed to listen. Here, this is something that you say for your own healing. And certainly the ego is not going to agree with that, but the soul knows that to be true. So the more you practice that, and you don't have to like it. It doesn't say everything is for me, not against me, and I have to like it, otherwise I'm not being spiritual. No, that's the spiritual ego. ego's take on it. Well, I better make it happen. No, it's okay. You don't have to like the divine plan. The divine plan doesn't care if you like it or not. Everything is happening for you, not against you. And wait till you find out. It was all written, all timelines and all lifetimes were written at the moment of the Big Bang, and time is but an illusion, and blah, blah, blah. I'm certainly not the first to say it. Speaking of which, the mystical, the eternal, the 8th chakra, your vocation, the athlete, so huge. The Sagittarius card, win-win of all things, goddess of transformation, mutable fire, 9th house, spirituality, expansion, 2 of cups, discovering happiness. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. I don't know if this is a lover. That's a private read thing. That's a personal read. This in general, there is definitely another person here who is either inspiring you. Maybe it's His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Maybe it's Carolyn Myss, or whoever it is from afar. But this feels mutual. This feels strong. This feels like a second chakra dynamic here that inspires you and lights up your heart, third eye crown with mutable fire, expansion, Jupiter energy. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am is perfect for the 8th chakra, because that is exactly how the higher self is. Content exactly as it is, but also birthless, deathless, guiltless, sinless, right? The actor, the soul is the actor that is playing the role of the personality, dealing with the challenges of the ego and integrating all of it into one, because it's all fucking one anyway. Wow. Allow yourself to be content exactly as you are. This is where your leverage is. You haven't done anything wrong. That's what I think you're going to see as you can relax into this more. Bringing yourself into balance. This is a Libra reading, even though this is not necessarily a Libra card. I love it. Let me give you the overall blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. As I ask the pantheons of the divine to please bless the Libra collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading with all that they need, that in their work they can fearlessly reveal emotions, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy with great creativity, good fortune, passion, fun, because it's time. The wheel is moving. Something is written here that can be prevented, but delayed but not prevented. Thank you. And they are encountering conflict, so they don't have to choose sides. They don't have to go down into the dualism of it. They can take a stand for love. Give them that. Give them that blessing, that strength, so that they are able to do that in creative ways that are going to help heal the situation, because in their career, there's light being shed on their potential wealth within them that can never be stolen, and no one else has their contract but them, and there is success within them. They have internal success, and of course they have internal success, that balance. They are going through a process of exactly that, a process of temperance, and if they were to watch videos on YouTube on tempering steel, they would see it is a long, hard, hot process. It's hot. Because they're integrating the ego here. Everything is for them, not against them, but they don't gotta like it, and they're not always gonna see it, and we don't always all see it. But in their vocation, they may very well see it, with a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, and I feel like that could be financial handicaps, could be all sorts of different handicaps for them. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit with this spirituality, 9th house, Sagittarius, mutable fire, kind of exciting Knight of Wands experience with this 2 of Cups. Experience another person, another soul, a soul contract of some kind going on here, and in that discovering happiness as they allow themselves to be content exactly as they are, so they heal, so they grow, so they become, so they align their work, career, and vocation and all 8 chakras gradually into a congruency of creativity of the divine into form, fulfilling their life purpose and healing us all in the process for the well-being of all. So motivate. So it is a long blessing, but I think a really, and probably a very long reading too. But it's the teats. It really is. And honestly, that 2 of Cups card, Anyway, you want a work, career, vocation reading, you want a soul contract reading, I know so many spreads. Check out the video, Booking a Reading with Mal. It's a fun read. It's a fun video. I enjoyed making it. I do hope you enjoy watching it, and book me for something. Words of Grace is up there. I'm telling you, that solar plexus thing might come in handy, particularly with that Leo card on the table, as well it is a solar plexus. I mean, otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Got any idea who that Two of Cups is? Comment below. I would like to know. Otherwise, it's like being dropped down in the middle of a comedy or tragedy, sometimes being pulled up and you don't know how it ends, and I do like to see how things end. Anyway, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation, my beloved Venus-driven Libra cardinal air signs, your work, career, vocation, August, September 2021. Hail. Farewell, and blessed, blessed be.